Hey y'all, it's Alicia, and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoblop. It is Friday, y'all. It is Friday, and we got here. I spent my morning not the way I was intending to spend it. Again, it's one of the things about everybody being in lockdown in our building is that everyone's home. And when everyone's home, there's a lot of action going on in this building. And my husband, who is a very resourceful human being, somehow talked our butcher in the Bronx into delivering meat today to our building. And it was kind of like Christmas. And I mean that sincerely. I want to tell you, there hasn't been chicken on the shelves here in over 10 days in any regular supermarket. That may not be entirely true for Whole Foods. We don't know because we don't go in there very often, if at all. But for regular supermarkets, there has not been chicken. And you've never seen people so excited about chicken. And I mean that sincerely. But you know the man is used to either his wife ordering or cooking, because he placed the order and it was so thoughtful of him, but we had a good laugh today and we needed it. We really needed it. The women and I were talking downstairs because he ordered some packages for people in the building, for families. He ordered some for Isabel, one of the grandmas she's really like the best thing in the world. The one who makes me special meals. He ordered her a package of this. He ordered Lucy, Hiram's wife, a package of this. And he ordered Menche, who is Lucy's good friend, and Oscar's mom, a package. And it was supposed to be a pork roast. But I guess my husband didn't know, there's all different kinds of pork roast. So they sent the fanciest pork roasts. You know, the ones with the French bone, all Frenched and all fancy? And the women were just howling. They were like, for sure someone who doesn't cook often ordered this. And for sure it was a man. Because, first of all, women are far too frugal and would never spend that on a pork roast. You might do it for a very special occasion. You might do it for a lamb roast or a beef roast if you're having a wedding or an engagement party, but you sure don't order it for a regular meal. And they were howling. And the next thing you know, other people were coming out to see what was so funny. And it became this amazing moment of laughter that we all needed. And I told my husband, the best thing you did today wasn't just the meat. The best thing you did today was give us that moment of joy when we needed it. Because it was really funny. And now the grandmas are trying to figure out, how do we make this for everybody so that we can stretch it out so that it's a bigger meal, but it's also the fanciest cut of pork you're ever going to have in your life. So all the ways that you would normally stretch out a meal would be stewing it or slow braising it and putting it with rice and beans, but you don't want to do that because this is too fancy. So that became its own endeavor. But it also became a project. You see, y'all, I'm very lucky. I have crafting. I have drawing. I have cartooning. I have reading. I have writing. I have marking to do. I have more than enough to fill 10, 12 hours of each and every day. But when you're under stress or, you're worried and you can't leave the house, there's only so much cleaning these women can do. And believe me, their houses are so clean right now. It's ridiculous. So this became something new to do. It became, okay, well, we're going to prep this in a different way. And we're going to figure out how to do this right. And that gave them something to do also today, to keep their minds off of things. And so it was a beautifully thoughtful gift. It wasn't just the gift of food. It was the gift of laughter and now innovation. And now they have a project for all day. So it was like the gift that kept giving. So yay for my husband. He is extremely resourceful. I told you all this. He's a strategist in terms of his career and in life. So how he got the guy from the Bronx to agree to put all that into his van and drive it down here, I don't know, but he did. And it's like a little party going on in here, a little party. And your girl has some good meat. I'm pretty excited. And so do the grandmas. So we're all going to eat pretty well. And we're very lucky. We always eat very well. And I've been blessed because I don't know what I would do without these ladies who want to make sure I gain some weight. And one of them just dropped by now, actually. And she dropped by because there was a Walmart delivery and they didn't want it downstairs. They wanted to disinfect it and bring it to me. So I'm very blessed. Thanks to them, I always eat well. But I just thought that was hysterically funny and I had to share it with y'all because I don't think we've seen this kind of cut of pork roast except for at banquets and weddings. It's that fancy. It was funny. It was really funny. It's the kind where they put those paper things on top of the bones. Yeah, like out of the movies. It was hysterical. So that was one little fun moment to share with you. I know you all saw Sabrina, Crafty Mom and Son's video. And, oh, folks, I got to say something. First of all, Sabrina is one of the most responsible people. I want you to know that she contacted me yesterday. She did, as soon as she knew. Now, most people wouldn't have done that right away. I mean, talk about an afternoon, right? She's worried about Zack. She takes Zack in, and then boom, this bomb is dropped on her. She wasn't even thinking about herself. She thought, oh, Zack's getting an infection. We got to deal with it. And I got to say, I feel for her. Everyone in here feels for her because there's no testing in her area. She doesn't know if she has the virus or not. They don't know if she has the virus or not. They have no idea. But they're going to tell her she has it. And that's a bomb. No test, but she's got it. Here in New York, they won't do that. They'll do a test in the hospital. If they don't believe the test, they send it out to the CDC. They do not leave you hanging. So my heart broke for her when she told me what happened. And I did not like the way it was handled. And I really hated the way they told her. They told her in front of Zack. It was terrible how they handled this. Talk about inciting panic. And what? Kids aren't watching TV and they don't know what this is? Of course they do. But most parents in that situation and most people would have been very self-concerned. They wouldn't have been thinking, I better contact Alicia, because what if they're wrong about stuff staying on boxes? So that was her thought, y'all. I want you to know that. I want you to know that her thought was to reach out to me and say, look, I've counted back the days. It should be okay. Because they're saying 24 hours and this was longer than 24 hours, but please tell me that you disinfected. I'm worried. And I was like, okay, take a deep breath. First of all, thank you for being such a responsible human being. Thank you for being concerned for me. How are you doing? How are you coping? How's Zack managing the news? I'm so sorry that you were told this way. I'm so sorry that they don't have a test to give you. That's my primary concern. Number two, we have packages coming in here every day. And I don't know who's touching those packages. And yesterday I went to the pharmacy to get my medicine, and I don't want to get into the problem that my doctor had with my pharmacist today. This was a new pharmacist who doesn't know me, doesn't know my doctor. I think they brought in extra pharmacy staff because they're so overloaded. And long story short is, he didn't seem to understand that I couldn't wait in the store for an hour. That exposing me to public and people coming in coughing and buying cough medicine was really dangerous. And it just became this epic disaster yesterday. That was far more dangerous than any package I could get in the mail. And I'll just tell you that. Far more dangerous. My doctor will confirm that. What happened to me yesterday at the pharmacy was way riskier than anything else that has happened to me since I stopped going on the subway. So I just wanted to let Sabrina know, listen, you can't do this to yourself. I'm getting parcels. Look, a parcel just came from Walmart. There's a risk in everything. And I know that it's scary because we don't know whether what they're telling us is true or not true. And I appreciate you being responsible. But take that load off and let's just worry about you. So let's think about this for a minute, folks. Sabrina is now on lockdown with Zack. They're on lockdown for maybe having the virus because they never got tested, so we actually don't know. But she's going to have to carry that weight for herself and for her son, for her husband, who is a firefighter, and for her mom. And, the whole thing was she was so worried about her mom because her mom's also a vulnerable population person. So here's what I'm wondering. Those of you who are still doing mail, those of you who can arrange for it to be picked up from your home or live in a less condensed populated area and can still go to your post office, or those of you who are still going to your post office, I think it's really important now more than ever to support Sabrina's challenge. Because I think there's nothing worse than sitting at home for 15 days worrying, what if they're right and I have this virus? And I don't mean that Sabrina's doing that for herself. She's worrying for Zack, right? And her mom. So if you are on the I am mailing list, or like me, you can arrange for mail to be picked up at home so you don't have to go to the post office. I'm going to strongly encourage all of you to support Sabrina Crafty Mom and Sons Challenge right now, because I think they're going to need a lot of Happy Mail. And if you don't feel up to doing a challenge because you're just not motivated, maybe some Happy Mail for Zack. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Zack is going to have a rough time doing quarantine, and that if he could get some Happy Mail, that would really brighten his time. I happen to know from Sabrina that he loves foreign currency, like he likes foreign coins, and he probably would like foreign bills too. So if any of you have something like that at home, I do. I know I do. I'm going to see if I can't get some off to him. But also, he's a young guy. He would like all sorts of surprises. Any surprise that could come his way. And even, there's some things we can send them where you don't even have to go to the post office. Nothing like sending a box of junk food or a packet of Haribo from Amazon and having that delivered. That can also brighten his day. So I'm just throwing out some really good suggestions. We can help them through this. We can. And together I know we can. So I'm throwing that out there. I'm going to put Sabrina's channel down below for those of you that don't know her. One, she was wonderful. She saved our building. She sent in hand sanitizer. We could not get any. We have people here who are very vulnerable and elderly. We're working on another batch today to make sure that my girlfriend and her kids have hand sanitizer. We're super grateful to her. So if you all could just maybe support her during this crisis, I'd appreciate it. And I know that any Happy Mail that Zack could get would brighten his day. And again, you don't even have to go to the post office. Something small sent via Amazon, that would work too. So I'm going to put our channel down below. But, we're really good at supporting one another in a time of crisis. And if this isn't a crisis, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Sheila, Country Girl First, did this beautiful thing today. Of course she can sing. Why was I not surprised she could sing? But she can sing. And she decided today to sing because she felt that her heart was just a little heavy for everybody. And she thought that was a good way to help the heart work it out. And what she ended up doing was just uplifting everybody. She really did. And I think Monty also said it best. Like, during a time like this, there's nothing better than Happy Mail. There really isn't. I'm going to do the next round of ATC entries very shortly. And I got to tell you, it's the highlight of my day. I love ATCs. I'm learning this now. I love ATCs. Don't always love a MEMDEX. I know that there isn't much difference between a MEMDEX and an ATC. And in fact, often when you're doing a MEMDEX, the only difference might be that you're creating in the style of the other person rather than yourself. But I struggle a bit with them, folks. That's why I always groan whenever they're part of a challenge, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to make a MEMDEX. But I love ATCs, and I have loved every single entry I've received, and I cannot wait to. It's so hard for me not to open up every entry that comes in the door because I'm loving them. And I'm putting them into the plastic sleeves in the binder, and I feel like I'm going to be so lucky to have these to look at all year round. And each one is so unique and so inspiring. And then today I saw Diane did Donna Dreams Times Three's ATC coin challenge, and she did mixed media, and it was beautiful. And I was like, oh, I love ATCs, and I love that we're all embracing them. So, folks, if you're comfortable receiving mail and sending mail, I mean, it does. Monty's right. The polka dot pinecone's right. It does brighten our days. When we're watching everyone else open Happy Mail, it's just as good as when we're opening it ourselves. I love watching the videos of you all opening your mail. Sheila opening her mail today brightened my whole morning. I don't have to get it myself personally to enjoy it. I like watching everyone else get it. So, but we have to be careful of our vulnerable population. And that's why yesterday I asked, how do you feel about getting mail? Are you on the yes or the no list? Because I do think what we should do, and I gave it some thought, is that we should have a okay to mail and a do not mail list. And that way folks who want to continue getting mail, well, then we can send them Happy Mail. And those who want to wait because they're not sure that, look, the information they've been given us has changed daily. So you can understand why some vulnerable people are like, please don't send me any mail because I'm already immunosuppressed, and if you send me something and they're wrong, it's not the person sending it. It's if the information the government has given us is incorrect, I could be exposed. Okay, absolutely. We want to protect you. Can you imagine how anyone would feel if we ever made you sick? So I realized last night what was great is that I'm hoping that by tonight, we're going to have a list of who we can send mail to and who we can't. And over the next couple of days, I'll process that list properly and share it. So these are people that want to continue receiving mail, and these are folks please don't mail to until this whole thing calms down. And that way we still get to have happy mail going out, but safely. And I think that's important too. And that's going to make all of us feel great. But I know that Sabrina's still accepting mail. And so again, I'm going to strongly encourage you, let's help her through this time. Nothing is going to make her time and Zack's time easier than getting little gifts in the mail. That's for sure. Oh my goodness, I moved my face and my video froze. Y'all got to help me figure out these settings. All right, y'all, I'll be back on really soon with ATC entries, and I am putting Sabrina, Crafty Mom and Sons channel down below. Please check out her challenge or just send some happy mail her way. All right, y'all. Sorry about this. Happy Friday.